Why you know they use the instrumental? Man? The instrumental is there. Hmm? So why you know they use the instrument? The instrumental is this side now.
I prefer you. So that if I want to play sound, I don't have to pour sound.
Okay. What you do is you tell Spike to help you upload the instrumental. Man. You go tell paparazzi that one now. You go wait for you go wait tire, no evidence. Please reduce the it's too loud. Reduce These are the days that were if my father told me to.
You actually make you actually end up making a horrible singer. That's one thing I'm so sure of. I don't need anybody to, tell me that, but you actually be a horrible singer. Good evening to you and welcome to Sports Frenzy on AIBA 94.3 FM about. And it's the first for the new week, the 14th day of August 2023. Let the drums roll. My name is Precious. I didn't say you should roll the drum. I was talking to myself, not to you. You're a newcomer, so we need to officially introduce you. My name is Precious Njoko, and you can call me Fresh, the simple lady that talks sports, the sports goddess, the sports diva, ABA first lady, and your one and only queen of the airwaves. So it's no longer news that at the point I had to, send David Orji, the engine room, to probably learn the ropes and come to the reality and terms that he doesn't have a career in football so that he could probably concentrate. We'll look for something extra to, something by the side, more like we call side gig to give him. And I will tell you today that with joy, in fact, with Jesus' joy in my heart, with Jesus' joy in my heart, I want to welcome David Oje, aka the injury room, the only player without the club, and he will never ever have a club. Back to the sports frenzy family. Good evening to you, David. How you doing?
Please address me properly if you want me to speak. If not, I prefer not to speak.
I don't understand. What is there to speak?
Address me properly.
No, you're the only player without a club.
Who told you I don't have a club?
You've never had a club. You've always lived a fake dream. You've always had a fake dream. So
What do you mean by fake
it's more
dream?
like back to reality, baby.
What do you mean by fake dream?
The fact that you don't have a club.
Well, good evening and welcome to Sports Frenzy right here on the IMBA.
I don't know. This guy's after your life.
FM. I need to talk.
He's after your life.
And welcome to Sports Frenzy right here on the IMBA 94.3 FM about. My name is David Oji. They call me the engine room. They call me the striker who actually scored 40 goals last season with 27.
Okay, no longer 50.
And this season, it's a new season. It's a new season. And this new season, I'm actually going to be scoring 60 goals and 37 assists. Last season, you need to see all the wonderful goals I scored.
For which club?
For
which club?
The clubs I played for.
No, the club. No, for which club? I just asked one.
Go and do your investigation.
No, I don't need to because there's nothing about you.
Go and do your investigation and then you can get the club I actually played for. But the point I'm trying to make is that last season was a very wonderful season for me, football-wise. 40 goals in the season, 27 assists. That's about 6 to 7 goal involvement. Plus, all the times I actually rattled the bar. And some of the attempts on goal I also made that, shots on target and everything.
At this point, please permit me to just, cut you off because at this point, but you are one player or you are one player without a pedigree. You are one player that doesn't exist. And at this point, we actually want to talk about people that are actually doing something visible and something we can see.
I am doing something that everybody can see.
How come we don't know the name of your club? How come it's not there?
Precious, you don't want to know the name of my club.
Oh yeah.
Now do you know?
Wait, let me officially ask this question, okay? So probably can cast away all the doubt. David, please, what club did you play for?
Last season, I was on the books of Yum FC. Yum FC.
The last time I checked, Babe, doesn't know you.
No, hold on.
Babe, doesn't know you.
Hold on.
Doesn't know you.
Last season, I played for Yum FC.
Where?
Hold on. I played till.
Wait, calm down. You're being fast. Yum FC of.
Precious, Limit, do you want allow me to speak?
Yum FC of what?
Don't suffocate.
No, I have to suffocate you because right now you're not being truthful. Yum FC of. It's more like you have Chelsea FC of England. Yum FC of.
So, listen to me, Precious. Allow the striker breathe.
You cannot breathe because you're lying.
Don't suffocate the striker.
All right.
And in January,
I'm actually
I
allowing
went
you make
on
an
loan.
introduction just for
Yes,
today.
yes, yes. In January, I made a loan move. I made a loan move to an Italian club, Cagliari, in the Italian Serie B. You understand? And my loan move was a very successful loan move. And after my loan move to
Okay, I'm
Cagliari,
sorry. I'm,
I
I'm,
actually
I'm
went
gonna
to
allow you
the
breathe.
I went to the Spanish La Liga and I played for Real Zaragoza.
Okay.
You understand? I had a short stint to Real Zaragoza. When I was at Zaragoza, that was exactly where I actually made my mark. And a lot of clubs were looking for me. Even clubs here in Aba were just looking for my signature. If you remember, ICAP RFC, if you remember, Ibeme
Okay.
United.
Where you were? Okay, not where you were here.
No, no, no. While I was there, Ibeme United, ICAP RFC, lots of clubs. And on
Okay, you played for a Spanish club and
yeah,
then clubs in Aba.
Real Zaragoza,
Wait,
and
clubs in Aba
I
were
was
jostling for your.
attracting. Hold on, I was
Okay.
attracting interest from clubs here in
And you
Aba.
think it's a good
And
thing?
no, hold on. Then at the end of the season, I came back after scoring about 40 goals and 27 assists. That actually made me the hottest striker and the hottest, striking prospect in Europe. I scored more goals more than Erling Haaland. He did not even score up to the number of goals same with Robert Lewandowski. That's the reason why the day you reeled out the top 10 strikers in the world, and I did not see my name on that list, there was a big issue with that list. I feel like some people, those who manipulate lists, have actually manipulated lists. I wanted to go to court to actually challenge the decision of that list, but I decided no, because of my future, this thing. I said, let me not go to court. Also, now, at the end of last season,
You just have like
hold
30
on. At the
seconds.
end of the season,
Okay.
transfer window is open. Clubs are jostling for my signature. All my agents are actually bringing deals for me to sign. Some are bringing deals from the MLS. Some are bringing from Saudi Arabia. So I was even close to John. Do you know I was close to Johnny Real Madrid?
Okay.
I was close to Johnny Real. They were even sewing my jersey here in Aba because I told them to sew
Seven,
sew about
six,
about
5,
50 about
4,
1,000 about
3,
1,000 jerseys of
2,
mine that I'll give to my.
1.
And guess what,
Thank
Precious?
you very
Wait, hold
much. No,
on. Guess
this is
what?
the point where we need
Guess
to get
what?
into the business of the evening.
On Saturday, I just got news that there's a football club that's coming up in Aba very soon, Aba FC, that they're already looking for my services. They want me to be
Actually,
their captain.
Joshua took out Roberts. At this point, whatever it is you're saying is I call it bluff. So that's why I would ever want to argue with you
You'll hear
again.
from my agents.
You don't have agents. All of them might be deceiving you. If you gave them money, better can collect your money. Anthony Joshua took out Robert Helenius inside 7 rounds at the O2 Arena in London on Saturday. And if you look at that fight, it was a fight that I had a lot of reservations with regards to Anthony Joshua because I felt like Anthony Joshua cannot afford to have another defeat. Psychologically and mentally, it might just, affect him. But seeing him approach this fight differently was something I totally was not expecting from Anthony Joshua. It's more like an upgrade, from the German Franklin bout. The first one is having after the Usyk bout. It's more like an upgrade. And right now, John Tawada, it's looking like the next opponent for Anthony Joshua. Were you satisfied, with what you saw yesterday with regards to Anthony Joshua?
Well, to be honest, I was satisfied with what I saw from coming from Anthony Joshua. Now, the reason why I was actually satisfied was because Anthony Joshua actually gave a good account of himself. I watched that particular fight from the very first round down to the seventh round when Anthony Joshua eventually knocked out, Robert. And Anthony Joshua was just for me, he was a model fighter. He took the fight to Robert. Maybe he did not prepare for Robert. He prepared for Dillian White. On paper, Dillian White is better than Robert. So maybe he actually prepared for something better than Robert Helenius. And that was the reason why he actually went into the ring. He stepped into the ring and he delivered. Now, watching Anthony Joshua, I saw someone who was hungry. I saw hunger. I saw tenacity. And I saw hunger. I saw this desire, this desire to actually be a champion once again. That was exactly what I saw from Anthony
Well,
Joshua.
why don't you look at it from this aspect, okay? Helenius actually took up this fight, He has not been preparing for Anthony Joshua. He just took up this fight for just 1 week. Don't you think, the short period of time also more like, let me use the word, gave Anthony an advantage over Robert?
Well, it did not give Anthony Joshua an advantage because if we cast our minds back to 2019, on the 1st of June to be precise. Now, something happened on the 1st of June. A month before that, or 4 weeks before that, Anthony Joshua was supposed to defend his heavyweight bout or his heavyweight belt against Jarrell Miller. 4 weeks to that particular fight, Jarrell Miller tested positive to banned substances, which is the same thing that Dillian White actually tested positive to. And Andrew Reese Jr., within a short notice, 4 weeks period, actually came up as a shock replacement for Jarrell Miller. And guess what happened on the 1st of June? On the 1st of June 2019, at the Madison Square Garden in the United States of America, Andrew Reese Jr. actually knocked out Anthony Joshua. That was the same day that Liverpool actually won the Champions League against Tottenham Hotspur. No one was actually talking about Liverpool winning the Champions League in the
Yeah, a lot of
sporting world.
persons were.
Well, I'm just telling you. And at the end of that day, I said, Lord, my success, may somebody's loss not overshadow
I
my
don't think it was
success.
that bad.
It was that bad that nobody was talking
No,
about
it wasn't
Liverpool.
that bad.
Nobody was talking about Liverpool winning the Champions. Everybody was just talking about the fact that Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. But within that short notice, Andy Ruiz Jr. stepped in and he beat Anthony Joshua. There was also every tendency that within that short period of time, even though it was 1 week, that Robert could have actually stepped in and what happened in 2019 would also repeat itself.
But you
But
know,
Anthony Joshua made sure that whatever happened in 2019, he did not give room for that to actually repeat itself.
but looking at Anthony Joshua back then and the Anthony Joshua now, I'm thinking Dylan White and Robert actually have one or two similarities, and probably that actually helped Anthony Joshua because in the fight against Dylan White, I was actually going for a knockout for Anthony Joshua. That was actually what I was going for because if you look at the two of them have actually fought each other when they were amateur and when Anthony Joshua actually turned a professional. So if you're looking at it, it is 1-1 for Dylan White and Anthony Joshua. So I was thinking maybe that would be an advantage for Anthony Joshua over Helinos. But at the end of the day, he got the job done in the 7th round. But away from that now, fans were actually booing his performance, meaning they expected more from Anthony Joshua. But quickly, let's hear, what Anthony Joshua had to say because he was actually asking questions. He was questioning them if they've ever fought before. And the
just the same way you've been just the same way. Have you played before?
At this point, because you're lying. That's why you cannot even say something straight up because you know what you were about to tell a lie.
For sure, you've not played football before, so
I don't need to play football to know you're lying.
Going forward, don't question my football career. Thank you.
Not necessarily. I think they don't understand. As I said, it's competitive boxing.
Sure, my mic is on me.
Trying to shut each other's advances down.
And now?
Didn't look as exciting.
No, nobody this thing they on now from here.
They don't look as exciting. They don't look exciting. It's a game of chess. When you're playing, it's interesting. It's a thinking man's sport. And from the outside, chess is a boring game. Everything I try to do, they're trying to shut down. Why am I going to go in there and trade from round one? Break him down.
At this point, he actually tried to compare boxing with the game of chess. He said, when you're looking at it from the outside, it's a boring game, but it's just a strategy.
Yeah.
And he actually followed the strategy for this fight against Robert because the truth is, Anthony, at the back of his mind, couldn't afford to lose this bout.
He couldn't. He couldn't afford to lose, and that's the reason why he just went into the fight knowing that there's one thing at stake, and the only thing at stake is for me to actually win this fight, and he won. So we say a big congratulations to Anthony Joshua. Next up for him is Deontay Wilder.
It's a fight I've been looking forward to for a very long time.
Well, it's the fight that, in case you're watching the fight and you actually see me on TV, just know that it's me because I'm taking front row seats to see that particular fight.
Can we actually have an agreement?
I'm just going to watch the fight.
Let our agreement be. Please don't bring yourself into any professional conversation.
No, I'm just fighting. I'm just going to watch the fight. I'm not going to fight.
Because you're not always saying the truth. That's why even to say the truth, you're still mixing lie inside it.
No. I am not. No, you're
fighting. Not going. If you go there to go and watch, you would not talk about the fight.
I just want. I'll report the fight from there.
Okay, you report the fight.
I'll call you. I'll be like,
okay, you can't be. I'll be the one to stay here.
I'll be like, wow. If you see Anthony Joshua just gave Deontay Wilder an uppercut. At this point in time, he's defending Anthony Joshua just knocked out Deontay Wilder. But the big question is, it's going to be a blockbuster fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, the two of them are, used to be former heavyweight champion. Joshua was a unified title, while Wilder held the WC belt until Tyson Fury, and then Alexander Usyk for Anthony Joshua also. What are you expecting from this fight? Are you expecting something aggressive? Because Deontay Wilder has been getting, some wins under his belt ever since the Tyson Fury defeat. Likewise, Anthony Joshua.
Well, it's going to be an explosive fight, a very, very explosive fight. And I think that if that fight is going to happen in January, it's going to be maybe the biggest fight of the year. If that fight is going to happen the same, maybe in December.
January. They're looking at January.
Yeah, but initially it was December, Saudi Arabia, but
Yeah, that's another point. Saudi Arabia, obviously, this is more like a big opportunity for them.
well,
So they're going to probably put the money.
Aside the bragging rights, of who gets to beat each other and everything, man.
There's money.
There's a whole lot of money. And you know that, Anthony Joshua is an old cat. Deontay Wilder is also an old cat. So when an old cat and an old cat actually squares up, the broadcasters are going to jump on this.
And again, look at the two of them as individual brands on their own.
There'll be so much money.
Now they are coming together.
So much. See, to be honest, I feel like at the end of this fight, maybe Anthony Joshua might just be making about $50 million. And Deontay Wilder might also be making about $50 million. Because to be honest, I don't think there's
anybody who's going to earn
higher. Someone like Tyson Fury might want to step in and say, give me 60% of the cost.
Because he has something. He has something to keep for you. There's a belt. There's a title to fight for.
But that notwithstanding, it depends on. For instance, now to be honest, if Alexander Usyk is actually fighting, Alexander Usyk currently is going to fight Anthony Joshua. It happened in the first bout. It happened in their first match. That at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua actually took a higher pay.
But let's be sincere, Anthony is supposed to take more. Who knows Alexander Usyk?
Nobody. But Anthony actually took the higher pay, which, in this part of the world, money actually matters a lot than some of those accolades and titles.
But what about Africa? What about the two of them bringing the fight to Africa? Do you think, any African country can probably host this too?
Yeah, of course. In the year 2000, I think that was in 2000, Tony Booth actually fought Bash Ali. That was in 2000 in Lagos, and the fight was fully financed by the Lagos State Governor then, and who's current president of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, in Lagos, and it was a sold-out fight. Don't forget that.
What are the tendencies?
Sometime in the 1970s, Muhammad Ali also fought in Zaire, that is the present Congo.
Now let's look at this now. Saudi Arabia has money. Okay. Do you think, the money they are willing to offer is something that, let's say the fight is coming to Nigeria, do you think it's something that the Nigerian government can match?
Well,
let's look at the reality of ground with the way they're spending money right now.
To be honest, if you tell me to fight in Nigeria and fight in Saudi Arabia, go Saudi Arabia.
Why Saudi Arabia? Because of the money.
There's money there now.
But that's the truth. There's money. They're willing to spend.
No, they are willing. And you look at what Saudi Arabia is doing now in terms of sports generally. The Italian Super Cup is played in Saudi Arabia. The Spanish Super Cup is played in Saudi Arabia. They've recently added the Saudi Grand Prix. A lot of football tournaments, Saudi Arabia. Boxing tournament, the WWE, they're bringing it to Saudi Arabia. Everything.
It's not like a miracle. So why don't we utilize the opportunity before the window close? And the fact that they have mapped out money for the next how many years? I think about 10, 20 years.
They've mapped out money for the next 7 years, or $17 billion for investment into the Saudi Premier League.
It means that the money is just there.
The money is there, and they want to invest. See, they want to invest the money. Now, if you look at very soon now, we'll start talking about the Saudi League. What did Al Ettifaq play?
But we're already talking about
what did Al Ali play? All the Saudi, because it is the money that is actually creating this publicity for them. Now you find out that so many people did not know a lot of clubs in the Saudi Pro League.
But all of a sudden, boom, like now,
a lot of people now are now keeping on my waiting. I see somebody even told me that on this confidential barometer, the Saudi Pro League has also started this weekend, started last weekend. The same way the English Premier League and other top leagues have also started. That's the same way they started. And they're also getting a lot of players.
And now, again, it's on a television. People can actually watch matches. The kind of publicity they're bringing, the kind of visibility they're bringing, it's crazy.
Even their jersey don't they sell for Nigeria.
Why not go sell? If now you not go buy, you don't want to go to a place where things are moving.
No wonder the under-20 boy, the Nigerian under-20 boy that went to Saudi, I don't blame him.
See, even if it's one season,
his
life will never remain the same.
I don't blame him. When he actually moved from a Nigerian club or a Nigerian football academy to Saudi Arabia, a lot of people are saying, wow, Saudi Arabia is not going to aid your development. But you also have to understand something. Now, football is a career that has a short span.
That's true.
You play for like 15, 18 years.
What happens after?
You're done. Like you play for 15, 17, 18, maybe 20, 25 years, depending on, let me not say 30 years. Well, at least you play for 25, 27 years. I'm just saying, you're
27.
done. I'm just saying 27 because
it might not be visible. We have someone who is playing. 27.
Let's say you play for 25 years.
Okay.
But 25 years, you're done with your football career.
What happens after
that?
that?
What next, man? So for the young lad who went to Saudi Arabia, well, I'm also moving to Saudi
All
Arabia.
right, so away from. See, I've told you this evening. Just respect us, me and you. Just respect us. Remove yourself from any professional conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Andy Murray has returned to Great Britain's Davis Cup team for the ties against Australia, France, and Switzerland in Manchester next month. And the three-time Grand Slam champion was left out of the squad for the 3-1 win against Colombia in February. And he was integral to Britain's 2015 victory, their first Davis Cup win in 79 years. I don't know about you, but there's steady progress with Andy Murray. Gradually, okay, gradually. I think I wasn't expecting him to win any title, but just I think early this year, he actually won an ATP title, and he went into the Grand Slam. He actually did so well, despite the whole metal hip and everything. He has still not allowed it to deter him. At this point, I'm just saying, even if he wakes up today and says he's done at 36 right now, if he wakes up today and say he's done, I wouldn't even want to, blink an eye to say you've done noble for this beautiful
No,
sport.
definitely. Andy Murray has actually done noble for the world of tennis. I remember when Andy Murray actually started. He's also an Olympic gold medalist as well. So for me, things actually happen, and when things happen, it tends to actually change the shape of a career, and that was exactly what happened to Andy Murray. But being able to actually get up once again and keep grinding and keep going in the world of tennis, that's absolutely beautiful. That's top class coming from Andy Murray. Some people actually experience. What Andy Murray actually experienced, but and this is also see aside this thing happening in sports for Andy Murray, this is also a lesson when I mean a lesson to everyone. Sometimes there are things that you can face and you feel like
That's the end of the
that's
world.
the end of the world. Like
But you need
you
to rise above the challenge. Try to see something good from it.
and keep grinding, like keep going. The same way and the Muri actually went on going. When he actually had that injury, everyone was like,
Yep.
his career is
Yeah,
done.
I was one of those that said
Like
it's over for
it's
Andy Murray.
over. But right now, Andy Murray is actually proving to us, truly, it is not over. And at least, even when he comes out and says, honorably, I want to retire from the world
Like
of tennis,
everybody's just gonna clap for him.
everybody is going to say, you deserve it. You've worked so hard. Even when the odds were against you, when no one actually expected you to be back on the court, you went through pain, you went through surgery, having a metal hip, having a metal inside your hip, and it's mind blowing. I think we need to give accolades to Andy
All
Murray.
right, Neil Cameron Norrie and Dan Evans have also been selected for the 10-time champions who are eliminated in the group stages of last year's finals. And away from that particular story, talking about Andy Murray, and to the Canadian Open, where world number one Carlos Alcaraz was beaten by Tommy Paul in the Canadian Open quarterfinals in Toronto, and he lost a 3-6, 6-4, 6-3 to American 12 seed Paul. And in his first defeat since the French Open semifinals in June, Wimbledon champion Alcaraz made 13 unforced errors and served 6 double faults. Also away from that to the Canadian Open, where Jannik Sinner and Jessica Pegula brought close to straight set wins in the finals of the Canadian Open. And Italian Sinner saw off Alex Zemino 6-4, 6-1 in 90 minutes in Toronto. And also American Pegula won her final in Montreal, dominating Russian Ludmila Samsonova to win 6-0, 6-1 in just 49 minutes. And it is the second WTA 1000 title for the 29-year-old world number 3. 6-0, 6-1.
Congratulations to her. Like a big congratulations to her. Everyone is actually getting set in 2 weeks' time, precisely on the
For the
28th
Australian
of
Open?
for the US Open.
Oh, yeah, the last, US Open.
Yeah, precisely in 2 weeks' time, 14 days from today, 28th of
28th?
August. The US Open, which happens to be the
The
last
last,
Grand Slam for
yeah,
the
for the
year.
tennis calendar year.
It's coming up. So all this, the Canadian Open, they're all preparatory events that would actually keep some of these tennis stars in place and keep them in shape. So I'm also building up for the
Oh my God.
I'm also building up for the US Open just as a fan. I'm a big fan of tennis, and I'm already looking forward to Novak Djokovic, Carlo Alcaraz, and Igor Swiatek, the likes of Carolina Garcia, Lila Sivitslola
What
actually
of
going out
Caroline
there.
Wozniacki? She's back.
Well, she's
She's
back.
back on tour, and I'm super excited about it.
Well, you see, all these athletes actually prove to us. So Carolina Wozniacki, she's also one athlete that actually proves that even as a woman, you can actually give birth and still continue your career. You
Yeah,
know,
Kim Clijsters did that. She came back and she won the US Open.
Serena Williams did it. Naomi
Okay.
Osaka currently has a baby
She gonna come
recently.
back?
Yeah, definitely she's going to come back.
No, she
But
had plenty issues even before the pregnancy and everything.
a lot of Nigerian sportswomen think that giving birth means you're going to die.
But
Something.
there was a Nigerian goalkeeper who was pregnant. She had no idea she was pregnant. It was a World Cup match. I'm trying to remember her name. Yeah, Anne Chejine, I think.
But the point I'm still trying to
No,
make
you
is-
no. I wanted to say this because you're trying to make it look like it's a Nigerian thing. No, she was pregnant, and
one out of many.
no, it's not about one. It's not one. So many of them. The reason why we heard about her is because she, at that
All right,
point.
should I tell you? Okay, so when the United States actually played, the United States women team, when they actually played at the World Cup, and when they lost out to, I think when they lost out, that was to Sweden
Sweden penalties.
in the round of 16 on penalties. So they had their kids come, hug them, they carried their kids and everything.
Okay, so what point? No. I think I'm beginning to get where you're going to right now. It's
it
not
was
fair.
it was wonderful to see that they had kids. Some of them carried their kids and
Okay, so
everything,
for us,
and they brought their kids out. The kids came onto the pitch, took pictures with them, and oh, that's my mom, that's my mom, that's my mom, that's my mom, that's my mom. And you see, I'm responsible for what I say. You're responsible for what
Okay,
you
wait.
understand.
Can I make you understand now? Over there, all right, there are things that probably to them don't mean a lot. For instance, someone can actually get pregnant and decide not to get married. It's a lot. But here, Africa, culture has a way of looking at you. They call it, pregnancy out of wedlock.
According to Precious.
No, that's the truth. It's not according to, that's just the truth. Let's just lay it bare on the table. And a lot of this. Okay. Look at what happened when Asisat removed her shirt. A lot of persons came after her, but this is something we see others do, and we don't attack them. But because it's coming from Asisat, religion came into place. Morality came into place and everything. So you wouldn't expect them. People like you and I will still want to ask questions. Okay, imagine Asisat is actually has a baby and she's not married. We still talk about her.
No, it's not me that I'll talk about.
But you're indirectly, more like violence.
I just said something that happened, something that I saw at the FIFA Women's World Cup. That was it. That was the only thing I just talked about.
That's a good. Okay, and away from that, now let's come home to Nigeria, where Nigeria's first lady Oluremi Tinubu hosted some members of the Super Falcons following their return from the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. And the players who were received are Captain Onomebi, midfielder Christy Chibe, and goalkeeper Tochukwu Oloyi. You also had Ibrahim Guswa, the president, the general secretary Mohamed Sanusi, and also some members of the team's backgroup staff. And the Falcons reached the round of 16, and they lost 4-2 to England in the knockout stages after 120 minutes ended goalless. See, I have a different perspective altogether. Now, the question I want to ask, what exactly are you celebrating? Why exactly are you hosting them?
No, at least welcome back, ladies. You guys made us proud. You ladies, you women made us proud.
Okay, sorry. Like I said, I have different. How did they make us proud? Let me cast your mind back to 2019. All right, at the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup that was hosted in France, Nigeria actually lost to Germany by 3-0. If you watch that game, it was a beautiful performance coming from the Super Falcons. A lot of us said, people like me said, okay, you girls did so well. 2023, we're definitely going to, get past this stage. And this is the same 2023. And we still lost again, and we're still making excuses again.
Precious,
so I want to ask,
we lost.
why? No, there's nothing like you lost gallantly.
We lost gallantly.
There's nothing like that. Now, my question is, why? What exactly are you hosting them for? So, if you're hosting them for getting to the round of 16, what happens if they get to, probably win the tournament? What will not happen?
You host them now. Declare national day, declare public holiday for them, because it's not easy. So what are you trying to say?
Now, this is the point.
That the wife of the president should not host them. She needs to host them.
I'm asking, why exactly are you hosting them?
Because
what did they achieve?
You're welcoming them back to the country.
No, they actually welcomed them back from the airport.
And how do you mean welcome them back from the airport? They went to this tournament.
Okay.
Against all odds.
What are the odds?
Now, these are the odds.
Okay.
The NFF director of media and communications,
Ademola Olajire,
first of all, called their manager incompetent and called him a school. Is he a school?
This is a personal opinion.
No, hold on, because there's nothing. He was responding on behalf of the Nigerian Football Federation.
Okay.
At that point in time.
Okay, on
Now,
behalf of a body.
against all
Okay.
odds too, these girls were clamoring for their match bonuses. There were reports that they actually wanted to boycott. They actually wanted to boycott
Which
this tournament
maybe came out and refuted.
and say, okay, no. But we all know that there is no smoke without fire.
Let's just leave it at
But-
it never happened.
Hold on. But they decided against all odds
Okay.
we are going to compete.
What are the odds?
Some of these are the odds.
No.
Now, let's look at the
Okay.
group. They found themselves in Group
Okay.
B. A group that had Olympic champions Canada.
All right.
They had host nation Australia.
Okay.
And they had debutant Republic of Ireland.
Okay.
Their first game against Canada, he ended in a goalless draw. Chiamaka Nnadozie made a very prolific save, saving 40-year-old Sinclair's penalty. And the second game, against all odds as well, they beat the Matildas of Australia by 3-1, a very spirited performance. And their third and final game, he ended in a goalless draw against the Republic of Ireland,
Okay.
which sealed their qualification to the round of 16. In the round of 16, they came up against the Three Lionesses of England, reigning champions of Europe. Technically, people say the English team, they are better, technically, to be honest.
Okay.
But that was the Super Falcons of Nigeria who actually gave the English women a good run. When I mean a good run, they gave Serena's team a good run for their money.
You said a good run. Okay, a good run. And then you actually played, England played about 30 minutes. Let me just say, a lot of people are saying 45, but let me say 30 minutes with just 10 men. And we had 11, and we still couldn't utilize it. So what is good
when you talk about
the run?
hold on, when you talk about numerical advantage,
Okay.
it is very important for you to understand how numerical advantage actually works.
School me.
Now, if you are down by a player down,
Okay.
it is expected that as a coach, you need to re-strategize. Now, how do you re-strategize? You can say, okay, I'll take off one attacker and bring in one defender. I'll take off one midfielder. I'm just telling you because at that point in time, you don't want to go forward. You're being conservative.
For who? Is it for the team with the numerical disadvantage,
Yes.
or with the advantage?
No, for the team with the numerical
So how come
disadvantage. Now the team.
So how come
now
we're the ones making the substitution you talked about?
The team that has the numerical advantage might now say, okay, let me take off a defender since I have advantage,
and put an attacker
and put somebody who is
okay. So
attack minded.
hold on. So how come we actually brought in someone we brought in Francesco Odega, and we all know Francesco Odega definitely doesn't know how to push the attack, and it was more like we were now defending instead of attacking, while England were supposed to probably be the ones defending and us attacking. But the pendulum swing in the sense that we were now defending and probably just waiting for an opportunity to attack.
Benue-born Francisco Odega is an attacker.
Well, Coach Ra, we saw her in the first game against Canada. Last game where she was brought in, there was nothing.
She did not in the first game against Canada.
Even in the last game, she was brought in.
She did not give a good account of herself, and that kept on the bench against Australia. It kept on the bench against the Republic of Ireland. But now at that point in time, as a coach, you look at your bench, you're looking at options. What can I do?
We had a Monday game too, like you said, was definitely going to bring this,
Football is a game of chess. When I mean football is a game of chess. Sometimes but the point I'm trying to make still is...
Okay, let's get back to why they were hosted.
The Super Falcons, they are worth celebrating.
No, you're not getting me right. I never said they are not.
So why they should be hosted?
Why
shouldn't they be hosted? Now, don't also forget that the office of the First Lady also has, a lot of...
Is there really something like the office of the First Lady? But anyway, let's not get there.
Yes, we have the office of the First Lady.
Let's not get there, but let's just keep on talking.
No, now, the office of the First Lady is also trying to be up and running. Now, the office of the First Lady is an office that looks, basically, to be honest, looks at women development and everything relating to women.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Is there a place in the Constitution that actually recognizes
hold on.
that?
Aisha Buhari, the wife of the former president, had an invitational tourney, which was the Aisha Buhari Invitational, where the Super Falcons of Nigeria and some other teams and some other countries also participated. So it is not our place if the wife of Mr. President, Her Excellency Oluremi Tinubu, says, let me host them out of her own magnanimity.
Right.
Now, we have players who are of Abia descent, the likes of Uchenna Kanu, and some other players. Now, Uche Nakano, the wife of the governor, Her Excellency John Moti, the first lady, can say, okay, you're from Abia State, let me host you. The same way the governor of Osun State actually hosted Rashida Tajibade, who was from Osun State, and Sophia Timuran. Now, the same way the governor of Imo State, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, even before the tournament, actually hosted Chamakan Nadozie,
calm down. See, I am not against everything you're saying, but let's call a spade a spade.
And not a big spoon.
Yes.
If
you are hosting them, if you are hosting them for actually getting to the round of 16, okay, what happens when they win the tournament? Is it going to be a norm that any competition? I want us to understand something so that it wouldn't look like you're probably trying to favor a set. So what happens? Let's say the Super Eagles probably go to a World Cup and get to the round of 16. Are we still going to host the Super Eagles? What happens if the under 20, the under 17? Are you still going to host them, or is that's what I'm saying? What is a special?
This is motivation. Now, don't also forget that the Tigers.
At this point, you actually answered my question.
No, the Tigers, they were also hosted by the five.
They want something.
Even if they did not win, it is a form of motivation, telling them, and of course assuring them that no matter what you do,
okay,
as long as you're representing Nigeria, the government is solidly behind you.
The question is, don't even bring these two together. The Tigers want something.
Yes.
Now you're hosting them. It's understandable.
No problem.
The Super Falcons did not win anything. You're hosting them.
They made us proud.
Now, which money are you hosting them with?
Precious, you don't concern.
No, it does, because
how?
In one way or the other, I pay tax, and that tax in one way or the other is used to host them.
Precious,
so
it concerns me. No,
the office of
allow the first lady breathe. Don't suffocate her.
These are the questions we need to ask, okay? Are you hosting them with your personal money? The answer is no. You're not hosting them with your personal funds.
Precious.
You're hosting them on behalf.
Precious, even if, I put it to you.
Okay, put it to me.
That for the fact that the first lady, where did you see the allocation that they were hosted? Who signed it? Because the first lady is hosting the Falcons out of her.
No, you said.
Now, do you know that? Hold on. Hold on.
Do we have a constitution that actually recognizes anything like the office of the first lady?
Precious, do you know that my king, the king in my village today, can decide, say, engine room, you have done our community proud. I want to host you. I'll say, okay, my easy. I'm available to be hosted. Host me. Host me.
Let me ask you a question. Is he hosting you with his private money? That's the question I'm asking.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on, because if we start this conversation, we'll not end it. But anyway, congratulations to the girls and congratulations to each and everyone.
Yes, and also those who have of Abia descent, like Uche Nakano. I think if she's back in the country,
don't do that. Don't do what you want to do.
Why?
No, don't do what you want to do. No, it shouldn't become a norm. Now, you know what I'm saying? They're on the 20s, okay? They actually played the tournament and they exited at Watch Round in the quarterfinals where they hosted. These are the things we need to put into consideration. Where they hosted. If there's going to be a pattern for hosting every national team, let it be enshrined so that any national team that goes for any competition, whether you exist in the first round or the second round, when you come back, you should be hosted.
Precious, look at how many fingers are you seeing here? How many fingers are you seeing here? How many fingers are you seeing here? I'm asking, how many do you see?
Can we go?
But how many do you see?
Can we just continue?
You see 5. Are they equal? The answer is no.
No, don't do it that way. See, all of those national teams are representing Nigeria.
You're right.
So what I'm saying, if you're gonna host the girls, okay, for probably doing this, you would have hosted the under 20. Like you said, it's a motivation. The motivation should cut across every age grade.
At least, when did the under 20 actually go for the tournament?
It doesn't matter.
This is a new administration.
Okay, so at this point, I'm going to hold you by your word. No, I'm going to hold David by his word. I'm going to hold you by his word.
This is a new administration.
The next competition we're going to have, for the under 20, the under 20, and 17, the under 23, I would look forward to the same treatment being meted out to them.
And I believe that our first lady, she's equal to the task.
All right, no problem.
She has been doing it and she will keep on doing it.
No, she just started doing it.
That's what I'm telling you. This is the new administration, and I believe that our first lady, as long as it's a women's team, our first lady will do the needful.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
what about the men's team?
The men's team,
They should go and look for.
no,
Onyewe.
those in charge would actually do the needful.
You see what I'm talking about? It should be actually
now,
put.
now I'm clamoring for women. Now you don't like it. I'm not an advocate of women.
No,
You don't seem
see,
to
you're
be
not getting.
comfortable
I'm
with
not saying no, but I'm asking questions that every
about the
minute.
male team.
No, I'm asking questions every minute in Nigeria. Like, if you're hosting them, what exactly are you hosting them for?
For doing well, for representing the country.
How did they? Okay, let's not go there because if I go to that point,
They did well. They represented this country well, to be honest.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
By actually getting to the round of 16 and losing, that's how they represented the
They
country.
lost gallantly. Oh.
They did not lose. Guys, Sweden are into the semi-finals. England are in the
Precious,
semi-finals.
have you
Spain
played
are
the
in the
penalty
Colombia.
before?
Like we have how many countries in the semi-finals? Like, what
Precious,
are
have you played the penalty before? The same way that Anthony Joshua said that those who are booing him, they've never fought before.
No, I'm not booing them.
Precious, let's move ahead.
No, I'm not booing them. Don't do what you want to do. I'm not booing them. I actually said, oh, you girls did so well for, getting to where you got to, but I'm just asking questions. Okay, and Super Falcons Forward, Uchenna Kane has launched a new foundation and website as a new personal project.
Wow.
And the foundation is basically to give the girl child the platform to maximize her potential and sponsor the ladies on scholarship to the United States of America. Now, This is a product of scholarship. She understands.
Wonderful. I think this is something that some other players also need to imbibe. Rashida Tajibade was also doing hers, collecting football kits, collecting football boots from her teammates there in Spain, and bringing it down here to Nigeria. I think this is absolutely wonderful. It's a way of giving back to the community. And Precious, I think you should also start a pet project. What do you think?
I already have one running.
What is it? Tell us about it.
Don't worry, on a very good day, I'll talk about it. All I need is for people like you to support it, but you don't want.
No, I'll support you. And yes, that brings me to the point where I think we need to announce this, that we'll be having a football competition very soon. Very, very soon. But that is on the cards still. But let's move ahead.
But just be a rest assured that the injury room is no way going to be a part of it.
I'm going to play.
No, it isn't.
For those who have been wanting to see the injury, are you ready to play? I think like the jingle should actually sound like this. Do you have what it takes to play against the injury room?
Brother,
Can you score 17 goals
brother,
in the tournament?
you have even more than what it takes to beat him. That's what I'm saying. You should never think about him playing. He's just going to, be a spectator. Because I love him and I want to see him survive and live. So he's not playing. One bit.
Precious, let's forge ahead.
I told you don't bring yourself into professional conversation. You still want to.
Please.
Okay, so this one is let's come on a little because the Nigerian National League NNL side Abia Comets will hold a 2-day open screening on Wednesday and Thursday, 17th August at the Williams Memorial Secondary School at Fugiri in Omaha, not local government area of Abia State. And this is more like a call for young and talented male footballers who wish to be part of the open screening to come and showcase their football artistry. And the program will commence 8 a.m. each day. Now, when I actually came across this, a lot of things went through my mind. We have Eimba, we have Abia Warriors, and we have Abia Comets. All three of these football clubs are run by the Abia State government. How do they intend to keep up? And this open screening, do you think it's going to be a fair process? Because Abia Angels also did the same thing. At the point, they actually ran an open screening. And I asked, at the end of the day, how many persons do they end up picking? Or is it just for formality's sake?
It's not for formality's sake. They end up picking a few players, but it has to be players who are exceptionally talented, which is also a way of actually trying to see some of these talented players. I think we need to give kudos to Abia Comet. But that notwithstanding, if you're a footballer,
excluding you, continue.
If you're a footballer and you know what it takes, like, I would not be say they say as a big play. You're a footballer. This is an opportunity for you. Find a way to Omaha in Afugiri in Omaha, the Abia Comet open screen, and you never can tell. You might just be the next big thing.
I actually asked a question. I asked, why don't they, try to bring it closer for those in Aba?
No, the thing
those that can probably travel.
No, but
because I had a lot of, reservation regards to this.
To be honest, Abia Comet is based in Omaha. If Eimba is doing a screening, Eimba has no business doing an open screening in Omaha. They'll definitely do it in Aba. If Abia Warriors is doing an open screening, Abia Warriors has no business doing an open screening where in Aba. They'll do it in Omaha. And Abia Comet is actually based in Omaha.
But you're actually calling out for, players.
No, it's
from different, places.
It's very simple. When Heartland used to do open screening, if you're coming from Olu, find your way to it. Anywhere you're coming from, find your way to it. You never can tell. Luck might just shine on you and you'll just be selected as, one of the. Now, there is a particular Yimba player, Chibike Wimu.
Yeah.
Chibike Wimu was actually a product of open screening at the old stadium at Tetlo. He was a product of open screening. Spent just one season at Heartland. Heartland got relegated. Boom. Straight to a Yimba.
Yimba.
And he's currently a mainstay in the Yimba team. So he's a
so
product. It means that it's a definite. In fact, this is a true testament that indeed open screening actually works.
So, to a reasonable extent, you feel it actually yields results.
It yields results, but the thing you have to understand is that many are called, but few are chosen. That is it.
All right, and away from that particular story, let's open up the phone lines right now to get your reactions before we head straight to Europe. I will talk about Anthony Joshua. I've talked about the Super Falcons, Uche Nakado, a lot of issues we've actually spoken about. But quickly, let's go on a very short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll definitely continue with the show. I don't like this thing these people are doing. This is what we complained about during the meeting.
Then search no more. The hotel is up for sale on a first-come, first-served basis, and the hotel is strategically located between the Aria International Market
Hotel.
and Tonimas Junction,
They want to sell.
precisely at kilometer 5.
No, it's just I know go do jingle for property
The
one
property
sell.
is a
Do now.
two-floor apartment with 24 executive floors
Do it.
bedrooms,
Get
an
one
additional
property one sell.
3,500
Where?
square meters land
It's
space
around
attached to the
Nigerian
hotel.
Brewery.
Above all, the
But
property
it's
has
expensive, oh. 600 million.
indicates the title.
And the reason
Now, you may
make
choose
I
That
make
place is catchment area, so if he gets the right person, he will sell it.
and the reason make I even tell PPI. But I tell PPI if
For
you
more
get
details
interested
on
in the
price
place. So.
inspection, contact Maxine the Rocket
For me, I don't the reason I
Zero
don't
eight
speak
zero
color. So I
six
say
nine
yeah,
Their
property.
property.
Maxine the Rocket details. No reliable.
You know that kind of thing.
You go, why you go talk and say, I get property. What was it? Well, you can. It's anyway, Shema, he might look at it as abuse of privilege.
This one is abuse of people. I did like this color.
We're coming to tell him about business.
No, but if like person they do like this color, but me, I know they just do
It's
like
business
this
now, so
color.
take it. You never can tell.
What do you think?
It's business.
Yeah, I go tell them to go and tell them.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break, and it's still Sports Frenzy with Pressure in the engine room. And but before we actually get to the phone lines, the interim management committee managing the Nigerian Premier League has extended the resumption date of the new football season by 2 weeks. Originally scheduled to start August, so in the last week of August, last weekend of August 26th. The MPFL kickoff date has now been extended by 2 weeks to start 8th. Through 10th, the weekend of September. And according to the statement released, it is the reason for the extension is to properly prepare for a full season since it won't be played in abridged format, because they actually proposed to club owners to use the abridged format and they said no. And again, to actually allow, the installations to happen, because they actually revealed that the newly launched MPFL Live app, which was commissioned last week, has not fully been utilized and tested across the selected stadia. So if they're actually asking for 2 weeks, it's not a bad thing. But the truth is, when they actually came out with the August 26th date, I already knew the probability of the league starting on that particular date was just not there. Even for the September 8th or 10th, I'm still keeping an open mind that we might still not start the league at that particular
Precious,
point.
we will start the league. We will start the league. You know, I am now an advocate in the Nigerian league. So we'll start the league by hopefully on the weekend of the 8th to the 10th of August. But if you also look at some of the reasons cited, we're trying to take the IMC is trying to take Nigerian football to the next level, making sure that about 300 games, 300
be
plus
streamed
games
live.
would actually be streamed live, and approximately 8 games every week would also be live on the MPFL app. The MPFL app has to be test run. The AI cameras have already
I
landed.
think that should be about 10. Okay. 10?
Yeah, because for basically, if all of Enyimba's game will actually be live.
All their home games,
all their
yes.
home games, you can get to stream it. And if they are playing in a stadium that is also approved
Away from home. You can
away
also
from
stream
home,
the game.
you can also stream the game, because there are about 10 stadiums that has been approved and these 10 stadiums, the cameras will be installed in these 10 stadiums, which means that every home team, every game going on in that particular stadium will be streamed. That the Imba Stadium is one of those stadiums. I'm so sorry about you. Highland FC over that Dalaya Stadium. You people are not going to see games from there.
Don't worry, we're just coming back from from somewhere. We're
Okay,
going to get there.
welcome back. 100 million naira team.
Don't worry about it. My governor has money.
But
And again, there's a clash of match schedule from Nigerian teams who are taking place in the CAF
in the
Champions
continent,
League and the
exactly.
CAF Confederation Cup.
Because Eyimba is supposed to play on Eyimba is supposed to play on Sunday, and after the game on Sunday, the return leg would actually be on Friday, and that Friday would actually be the beginning or the start of the Nigerian Premier Football League or the start of the Nigerian Premier League. So that is also one of the reasons why the date was adjusted to the 6th and the 8th and 10th of September, which for me, I think that is good, to make sure that the teams are actually ready. But that notwithstanding, the reason why this is actually better.
Why?
Now, Precious, imagine a situation whereby, the preliminary stages of the CAF Champions League has actually started. And imagine when our league imagine if our league is actually built to start in December or November. How about Michala Champions League before we start? But also, you ask yourself this question: does it actually help teams playing in the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup?
It doesn't.
I'll tell you it doesn't. Though we're gradually getting there. Because we want a situation whereby even before teams actually compete in the preliminary stages of the CAF Champions
The league is already
the league
running.
is already up and
To
running.
give them, some games, competitive games under their
Competitive
belt.
games. Because you look at the Yimba, to be honest, they just started. The coach said they are just about 2 weeks ready. 2 weeks ready for the new season, and they are 70% ready. But I was in New York over the weekend. I watched the game against Rangers yesterday morning there in New York, and I could see, they were a little bit rusty, a little bit, because it's just about 2 weeks, precisely 2 weeks that the team started training, and these 2 weeks is 2 weeks enough, to train there in Aba, played a couple of friendly games, but they say highlights they're different from real match. You understand? You won't really compare these friendly games, though they're high intensity friendly games, but you won't really compare how competitive, how competitive games can be to friendly games.
It's a different ball game altogether. In a friendly game, everybody wants to be careful because
Everybody's
of the
playing safe.
because of the big thing coming up. So, but the big thing is a different. But like you said, one positive I'm taking from this whole thing is that Coach Finidi George believes in his players,
He believes in
he
his
believes
players.
in their capacity to go to Libya and get a result. I
Yeah.
think that's just it for me.
That's the most important thing. He believes that these boys can actually go and get the job done. And okay, the team's itinerary. They're supposed to leave. The team will be leaving Lagos very soon, bro. So
All right, and 0809 666 0943 or 0708 000 0918. Numbers to call to be a part of the conversation.
hello, good evening.
This is Enyimba FM.